Hi, and welcome to GIS, the Essential Skills. It's a fully online class offered by Columbia College, and it's intended for anyone who has any interest at all in learning how to use coordinate systems and GIS and making a better map. Uh, we'll aim some of our curriculum towards emergency responders, but anyone who just uses, say, a GPS or wants to make maps recreationally is welcome, and I think you'd get a lot out of it. Students will use the Blackboard interface on their student account, and on the left here you'll find your assignments and training videos as we go through the class. And our primary resource will be using GIS for wildland search and rescue. This is available free at mapsar.net as a PDF download. Now, even though it's for wildland search and rescue, it's really a good primer for using GIS and learning about coordinate systems and how to use a GPS, for instance. And the first lesson that we'll be covering will be just learning coordinate systems. It won't be critical that you understand how these coordinate systems are derived, but it is important you understand there's a whole bunch of them, and so that when you are either receiving coordinates or giving them to another person, it's absolutely critical that you follow a protocol and write them down correctly so they can be used correctly. There's just a lot of mistakes that are made in the field. And in emergency services, this has caused people going as much as 20, 30 miles from the location they're supposed to go to. Our primary software will be ArcGIS Explorer Desktop, and this is a free download, and the instruction book tells you how to download and install it on your computer. There's a lot of mapping programs out there. The advantage of this one is you can use it offline. It doesn't require an internet connection. So if you have your own maps, which are free and pretty easy to get, then you can use this in what we call a disconnected environment. You'll learn basics like adding content, and so in this case I've got a GPS file up here, and but you'll also learn how to find a location from coordinates as well as derive coordinates from a location. So for instance, with ArcGIS Explorer Desktop, we establish a point, and notice that the coordinates of that point come up here. Now if we wanted to find coordinates, you'd enter the coordinates or even a named location in the find bar, and it's also critical, and we'll learn that here, that you get the latitude and longitude, or XY, correct. For instance, if we enter them just as we copy and pasted them here, XY, you'll find that in fact they're exactly reversed of where you want to be. Now you'll notice a mistake like this pretty quickly, but sometimes you can get a smaller error and you don't notice that you've made a mistake. So in this case we put YX, so latitude first and longitude second, and then that automatically goes to the correct location. You can also, using ArcGIS Explorer, draw in lines and rectangles and so on and so forth. So for instance, if you want to draw a route you've taken without even using a GPS track, you can just start clicking along, and each click anchors the line as you go in. And then of course you can save all this, and you can add a note or a label to it, and identify it further. And there are cases where older computers will not run ArcGIS Explorer desktop. If that happens, we will also go over using ArcGIS Explorer Online. For that, you'll have to open a free ESRI or a free account with esri.com. That's no problem at all. And then you start creating maps. It's a little more limited, but it's an excellent way to share maps on the internet. So, for instance, here's a map of a backcountry ranger who's been a ranger for over 40 years. And so he sat down and started drawing in all of his routes over the decades, and then converted it into a map, which can now be shared online, which is actually also useful for knowing cross-country routes in Kings Canyon and Sequoia National Parks. And as I said, you can also draw in your own routes here. Notice as we zoom in, incidentally, that the map changes and you get more detailed. So this is just one of the features of using ArcGIS Online, that as you get in closer, you actually get a different map set, and so you start getting trails showing up here. So anyway, we look forward to all of you participating, and just use Blackboard Learn to check on the lessons, and then we'll occasionally have web meetings where several of us at a time can go over specific lessons and problems you guys are having, where you just check in on a common website, and we'll all share each other's screens, and you can follow what I'm doing live. Okay, thanks for participating, and look forward to working with you guys in the next few weeks.